Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Ravian, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Management, BGSMS, Chikbalapur. In this video, I am going to explain procedure to get patent in India. Before stepping into the procedure, we should understand what is the patent is. We already know that patent means it is a sole authority or sole right given to inventor to use or to sell an invention for a certain period of time or for particular period of time, that is for maximum of 20 years. So this is a one right given to a person. So that person is inventor who invented something new, an ideology. Okay, so there is a patent. So this patent can be used, or that right can be used by a inventor himself or herself, or that inventor can transfer that right to any other third party for a certain period of time. Yes, so now I'm going to explain the procedure to get patent in India. According to Patent Act 1970, the to Indian Patent Act 1970, there is a procedure to get patentability or patentability in our country. Now let me explain that. So here there are some steps. Totally we have 10 steps to get patent for a invention in the country. Step number 1, write down the invention, idea or concept. So that invention may be an idea or it may be a new concept with as much as details possible. So first step is write down the invention with as much details as possible. So you have to write each and every ideas, each and every details of the your new idea or new concept. So first of all, you should collect all the information about your invention, such as area of invention, in which area you have conducted an invention, and description of the invention, what it does, so what specifications it has. So everything you have to describe about your invention. And nextly, how does it work, so how it is working and what regarding it works, what is the work of that invention, how it is useful to the society, whether it is useful or not, in what kind it is useful. So how does it work, you have to explain and you have to write that information in detail. And nextly, the advantages of your invention, so you have to write even the advantages also. So what and all the advantages, what are the merits of your invention, that should be recorded, that should be written in a prescribed format to get a patent in our country. And ideally, if you have worked on the invention during research and development phase, you should have something called lab record duly signed with date by you and respective authorities. So if you have mentioned or if you have recorded each and everything about your invention, so the two while you doing research and development work, so all things should be recorded. You have to maintain one record. If you recorded such records, so you have to sign that, and any other respective authorities which is signed by the respective authorities, that should be recorded, and the details should be written in a prescribed format to get a patent. So this is the first step. So in the first step, you have to write down each and every concept regarding invention, each and every minute information regarding your invention. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನನ್ನು, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಡಾಟಾ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನೀನು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಯಾವ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನನ್ನು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಏನಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸ್ ಏನು, ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಸೊ ನೀವು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ includes this second step includes you have to mention the drawings, diagrams or sketches explaining working of invention. So in the second step, your writing should be include drawings, diagrams, sketches and that sketches should be explained working of your invention. So that drawing or diagram or sketches, whatever it may be, so that should be explained and that should be helpful to understand the working nature of your invention. ನಿನ್ನ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಅಥವಾ ನಿನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ನ ನೇಚರ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಬೈ ಯುವರ್ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಬೈ ಯುವರ್ sketches and the diagrams. The drawings and diagrams should be designed so as to explain the working of the invention in better way with visual illustrations, and they play an important role in patent application. So while you're writing a patent application, so you should mention these diagrams and the drawings and some sketches which will going to explain in brief about the working of the invention in better way. So the two in with visual illustrations. ನಿನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆ ವಿಜುವಲಿ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಇನ್ನೂ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ದ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ದ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್, ಇಫ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ದ ಸ್ಕೆಚಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್. ನಿನ್ನ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನೀನು ಸ್ಕೆಚಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಕೂಡ ನೀನು ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೋದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ third step number 3 is check whether the invention is patentable subject matter. So this is very important. Step number 3 is very important. Why? Because you have to check out whether your invention is patentable subject matter. Patentable subject matter in the sense whether your patent is subject to a patent or not. So we already discussed some items which are not patentable in our country, which are not patentable in India. So those inventions cannot be patentable, and that inventions may not be get patent. So that you have to check out with your invention whether that invention is patentable subject matter or not. The main subject matter is whether your invention is patentable or not. If it is a novelty, if it is has a novelty, non-obviousness or enabling or an inventive step, so absolutely you'll get an invention, you'll get a patent. You have a right to get a patentability about that invention. So here, if your invention is not subject matter of patentability, then definitely you won't get any patent for your invention. So all inventions may not be patentable. As per Indian Patent Act, there are certain inventions that are not patentable. The two already I explained in detail in the concept inventions not patentable in the previous video. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ಸು ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟಬಲ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಏನಂದರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಚೆಕ್ ಔಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ದಟ್ ವೆದರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟಬಲ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ನಂಬರ್ 4A, I have mentioned like 4A. Why? Because 4B also there. So 4A explains that patentability search. Next step is patentability search. So you have to search with the patentability search. That is, it would be finding out whether your invention meets all patentability criteria as per Indian Patent Act. So whether your inventions meets the patentability criteria as per Indian Patent Act of 1970 or not. So that is, the patentability criteria is like this. So novelty means the invention should be absolute novelty. That invention should be new and not disclosed to the public anywhere in the world, in any form or through any medium. That is what novelty is. Novelty ಅಂದರೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ನು ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ, ಎಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಬಂದಿರಬಾರ್ದು, ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಿರಬಾರ್ದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂ. Absolute novelty should have. Okay, so that is the first criteria should be fulfilled. And secondly, non-obviousness. So non-obviousness in the sense it should be an inventive step. The invention should be an inventive step that invention should not be obvious to a person skilled in the art in the relevant area of technology, and should involve an inventive feature which is distinctive in nature from the previous inventions made in the same field. Okay, that is what non-obviousness. Okay, and next criteria is industrial application. So your invention must be applicable to a industry. The new product or process should be capable of being made or used in an industry, and it should have economic significance. Then only it comes in an industrial application. It can be able to put in an industry, okay, for the economic significance. This is also one criteria. And nextly, enabling in the sense, so that the invention must be able to put in a market, and that must be able to that should be in the form of an industrial application, and that should be in the form of inventive stuff. That is what enabling. So this is also one criteria which you have to meet while you getting a patent for your new invention. And this patentability opinion is provided by the patent professionals upon conducting extensive search and forming patentability report. So this is what the step number 4A, patentability search. So some professionals will check out whether you meet the patentability criteria or not. If you are not able to meet that criteria, or if you failed to fulfill the criteria or patentability criteria as per Indian Patent Act of 1970, that professionals will going to cancel your patentability right. Okay, so this is what patentability search. They're going to search about your invention, whether it is applicable to patentability in India or not, whether this patent has novelty, or whether this invention has non-obviousness or not, whether it is applicable to industry or not, whether it has an enabling or not. So everything they're going to check out. After searching that, they'll proceed with the further steps. And next step is step 4B, decide whether to go ahead with patent or not. Okay, in this step, see, very simple it is. Decide. You have to decide with whether to go ahead, whether to proceed further steps or not. Okay, so the patentability report and the opinion helps you to decide whether to go ahead with the patent or not. So the professional reports will explain you, and the report and opinion of the professionals will gives you the idea whether you are going to quit the invention or whether you're going to proceed with the further steps to get a patent. Okay, chances are what you thought as novel might already been patented or known to public in some form of information. Hence, this report save lots of time, efforts and cost of the inventor by helping him decide whether to go ahead with the patent filing process or not. This step is very important because the patent inventor has to decide whether to continue with the patent application or not, whether to quit that or not. So that should be decided before going to further steps, because the professionals will give the opinions, will give the report whether this invention is already known to the public or already patented or not. So everything they'll disclose to you or disclose to the inventor, and that inventor has to decide whether to proceed further steps or not. This is the 4th B step. And next 5th step is draft a patent application. So after deciding, so you have to write an application, that is a drafting on a patent application, writing on a patent application. So in case you are not, you are at a very early stage in the research and development for your invention, then you can go for provisional application. It gives following benefits. So here, so if you are in an early stage or a starting stage, initial stage of the research and development about your invention, then you can go for a provisional application, or else you can go for directly to a main application. So but they'll give a time, but before going to that you should understand what and all the benefit it gives if you apply for a provisional application. It secures filing date, so securely it saves your time and it gives some filing date when you have to apply for that anta. And nextly 12 months of time to file complete specification. 12 months time period will be provided if you apply for a provisional application of patent. 12 months time to file a complete specification about your invention. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ನ ಫುಲ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕೇಷನನ್ನು, ಫುಲ್ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜಸನ್ನು, ಅದರ ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನೀನು 12 ಮಂತ್ಸನ್ನು ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಯಾವಾಗ ತಗೋಬೋದು ಅಂದರೆ ಇಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್. ನಿನ್ನ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ನು, ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ 12 months time to complete the specification and to file a complete specifications. And low cost, it leads to a low cost for the inventor if they apply for a provisional application. provisional application ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ, ಸೊ ಲೋ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಕಾಸ್ಟು, ನೀನು ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಇದು ಬೆಟರು ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು after filing provisional application you secure the filing date, which is very crucial in patent world. So after provisional application you will get a secure date to file the patent. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನೀನು ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನಲ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಹಾಕಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಡೇಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ವಿದಿನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ಸ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫೈಲ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫೈಲ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್. ಈವನ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಅನ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ 12 months. 12 ತಿಂಗಳ ಒಳಗಾಗಿ ನೀನು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು ಇಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫುಲ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ after filing your complete specifications in the form. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನೀನು ಫುಲ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಈವನ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಎ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್. So if not, you have to follow, continue with the 12 months. You have to complete a 12 months. After that 12 months, you can file a patent. See, if not, if you get 12 months of time to come up with the complete specification, upon expiry of 12 months, your patent application will be abandoned. Within 12 months, if you are not able to complete the specifications of your invention, definitely that time period will be abandoned and the patent application will be abolished. ನಿನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಈ 12 ತಿಂಗಳ ಒಳಗಾಗಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ನೀನು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಫುಲ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕೇಷನನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಎಗೇನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್, ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್, ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗಿಂದ ನೀನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೈರಿ ಆಫ್ ದ 12 months ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್, ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ 12 months ಟೈಮ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನಲ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್, ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನಲ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೀನು ಅರ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೇಜಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ ನೀನು ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ನ, ಸೊ ಆವಾಗ ನೀನು ಬೇಕಾದರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನಲ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು 12 months ಟೈಮ್ ತೊಗೋಬೋದು ಫಾರ್ ದ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ನಾಟ್, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ patent application. When you complete the required documents and your research work is at level where you can have prototype and experimental results to prove your inventive step, you can file complete specification with patent applications. That's what I told you now. So here, if you complete all the requirements, all the required documents of the two of your research work, so if you are ready to provide all the research work and that which going to prove your inventive step, the two complete specification of your invention, so then you can go for with the patent application. And filing the provisional specification is the optional step. If you are at the stage where you have complete information about your invention, then you can directly go for complete specification. So here ನಿನಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನಲ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಆಪ್ಷನಲ್. either you can go for directly to the complete specification application or else you can go for provisional. when you going to apply for the provisional ಅಂದರೆ if your research work is in the stage of research and development or in the initial stage, and when you opted for complete specification filing of application, when you have complete information about your invention, then you can directly go for complete specification. This is the case. And next step is step number 6, publication of the application. So after the provisional application, or after filing an application, patent application, writing and drafting an application, so then you have to publication of your application. The authority will publish publicate your application. So upon filing the complete specification along with application for a patent, the application is published after 18 months of first filing. ಸೊ ನೀನು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗಿಂದ 18 ತಿಂಗಳ ಒಳಗಾಗಿ ಅಥವಾ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 18 ಮಂತ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫೈಲಿಂಗ್, ನೀನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಫೈಲ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀಯೋ, ಸೊ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಆರ್ ವಿತ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ಡೇಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಅಪ್ಲೈಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ application with complete specification along with the application for patent, so application will be published after 18 months. 18 ಮಂತ್ಸ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ನೀನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಫೈಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯೋ ಆ ಡೇಟಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು 18 ತಿಂಗಳ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ನಿಂದು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆನ್ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ಡ್ ಫೀಸ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು do not wish to wait till the expiry of 18 months from the date of filing for publishing your patent application. So here very importantly, here is the chances of publication of your application before expiry of that 18 months. For that you have to pay prescribed fees. If you do not wish to wait till the expiry of 18 months, ನೀನು 18 ಮಂತ್ಸ್ ಕಾಯೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ, ನಾನು ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ ನನ್ನ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪೇ ದ ಫೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ, ಜನರಲಿ ದ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ಡ್ ವಿದಿನ್ ಎ ಮಂತ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್. ಜನರಲಾಗಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 1 ಮಂತ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ದ ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ಡ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಇಸ್ 18 ಮಂತ್ಸ್. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 18 ಮಂತ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದೆಲ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್. If you wish to publish before the 18 months or before expiry of 18 months, they'll definitely publish your invention. And next step is 7th step, request for examination. After publication of your invention, the patent application is examined, because your request should be examined. Request for examination, which means your invention should be examined by the respective authorities. The patent application is examined only after receiving request for examination, that is request for examination. RFE means request for examination. ಇಲ್ಲಿ RFE ಅಂತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, that is request for examination. Yes, request for examination, that is RFE. Upon receiving this request, the controller gives you patent application to a patent examiner who examines the patent application with different patentability criteria. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ after receiving the request, the controller of the patents, controller will give an application to a patent examiner. patent examinerಗೆ ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲರ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮೈನ್ ದಟ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ and that patent application with the patentability criteria. ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಪೇಟೆಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ ಇದೋ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೇಟೆಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯನ್ನ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನರ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನನ್ನು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮೈನ್ಸ್ ದ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ವಿತ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಪೇಟೆಂಟಬಲ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್, ವೆದರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟಬಲ್ in the country or not, and novelty, whether your invention is new or not, and whether it has non-obviousness or obviousness, that should be checked out with the criteria. An inventive step, that your invention must be a inventive step and it should be applicable to the industry, that is industrial application, and it should be in the form of enabling. Okay, so this is what criteria, and that criteria has to examined by the examiner of the patents. The examiner creates a first examination report. The examiner will create first examination report of the patent application upon reviewing it for above terms. Okay, after meeting these terminologies, the examiner will give the ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನ್ ದ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಪೇಟೆಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ, ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರು, ನಾವೆಲ್ಟಿ, ನಾನ್ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ನೆಸ್ಸು, ಇನ್ವೆಂಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಪು, ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ನು, ಎನೇಬ್ಲಿಂಗು, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಮೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ವ ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ದೆನ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮೈನ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್, ಎವ್ರಿ ಮೈನ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್. ದೆನ್ they'll proceed with the next. So this is called as a patent prosecution. See, patent prosecution andre, so patent prosecution means any step taken before granting the patent. Everything happening to patent application before grant of patent, it is generally called as an patent prosecution. ಅಂದರೆ ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಕ್ರಮ ಜರುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕಾನೂನು ಅಂತ. ಪ್ರಾಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಕಾನೂನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಗ್ರಾಂಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್, ದಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ಎ ಪ್ರಾಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ they'll proceed with the further steps. The first examination report submitted to the controller by examiner generally contains prior arts, that is existing documents before the date of filing, which are similar to the claimed invention, and same is reported to patent applicant. See, first the examiner will give the report to controller as well as to the patent applicant. ಇಬ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಸೇಮ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಅವನೇನೇನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಏನೇನು ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಟು ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು they're going to submit a report to the controller of the patent as well as the patent applicant. ಇಬ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡೋದಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ನಂಬರ್ 8, ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಟು ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದೇ ಶುಡ್ ಲಿಸನ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಇಫ್ ಎನಿ ಒನ್ ವಿಶ್ ಟು ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್, ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಎ ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್. Okay, so majority of patent applicants will receive some type of objections based on the examination report. Examination report ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು every patent application will receive some type of objections. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆಗಿದೆ, ಈಗ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇದನ್ನು ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್, that is patent agent, and creating a response to the objections raised in the examination report. Whatever the objections raised by the public are raised in the examination report, that should be able to solve by the patent agent ಆರ್ ದ ಇನ್ವೆಂಟರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಏನೇನು ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೂವ್ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ನ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆ್ಯನ್ ಇನ್ವೆಂಟರ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಹಿಸ್ ನಾವೆಲ್ಟಿ ಓವರ್ ಪ್ರಿಯರ್ ಆರ್ಟ್ಸ್ found in the examination report. The inventor and patent agent create and send a response to the examination that tries to prove to controller that his invention is indeed patentable and satisfies all patentability criteria. See, if any objections received, patent agent as well as the inventor has to create, and that should be sent to a response of the examination, and that should be sent to the controller to prove that invention is patentable, and that to prove that invention is patentable in India, and that invention is satisfy all the patentability criterias. ಈ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೇಟೆಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾನ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪೇಟೆಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಅದು ಪೇಟೆಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿಯ ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಜಿಬಿಲಿಟಿಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಏಜೆಂಟು ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ವೆಂಟರು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲರ್ಗೆ ತಲುಪಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. And the ninth step is clearing all objections. So after sending the report to the controller, that is next step they has to follow clearing all objections. They has to clear all the objections. This communication between controller and patent applicant is to ensure that all objections raised in the patent application are resolved. If not, the patent will not be granted. See, if the objections not cleared by the patent applicant or the patent agent, that application will not be granted, and the patent will not be granted definitely. ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಅದೇ ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ರಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಫ್ ದೆ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ರೈಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್, ಸೊ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ they'll go with the other step and finally they'll get a patent granted. And the inventor has is fair chance to prove his point and establish novelty and inventive step over existing prior arts. So existing prior arts in the sense, with the diagrams, with the sketches, he can prove that his invention is novelty, that invention is industrial applicability, and that invention is enabling of novelty and inventive step over existing prior arts. So along with his prior arts, he has to prove that his invention is very novelty, it has a novelty ಅಂತ ಅವನು ಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, upon finding the patent application in order of grant, it is grant to the patent applicant as early as possible. After satisfying these, so they'll get a patent. Finally, the final step is grant of patent. The application would be placed in order for grant. Once it is found to be meeting all patentability requirements, the grant of patent is notified in the patent journal, which is published time to time. So after meeting all the requirements for the patentability, after meeting all the requirements, after following after satisfying the patentability criteria, the patentability will be provided and the patent will be granted to the patent applicant, and the grant of patent is notified in the patent journal. That journal will be published time to time. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪೇಟೆಂಟನ್ನು ಗ್ರಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದನ್ನು ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಜರ್ನಲಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಇಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಪೇಟೆಂಟನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಇದನ್ನು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ದೆನ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್. ಬಟ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್, ಸೊ ವೈ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆರ್ ದಟ್ ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್, ಸೊ in order to disclose the patent, in order to disclose the invention of the applicant. ಯಾರು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪೇಟೆಂಟನ್ನು ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನು ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡಾದಮೇಲೆ, ಫುಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಾದಮೇಲೆ, ಸೊ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ದಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ and these are the steps to follow and that should be satisfied to get a patent in India. So this is what the procedure and the steps involved in patent are to get a patent in India. I hope you understand. Thank you all. Jai Shri Gurudev.